Welcome to Small Steps. My name is Jason Elder, in for Seth Potts. Today, I want to talk to you about summarizing worksheets. And I also hope to challenge more experienced Excel users in finding a better, more efficient way of summarizing worksheets. So here I have crime data, and I want to summarize this data. So let's say I want to do a count, and I want to count by the sector, I want to count by the crime, and the offense description. Those are my three dimensions that I want to count by. Now, one way you could summarize this data is with a pivot table, which is what Seth has talked about before. And I think the problem that I have with doing it through a pivot table is that it leaves a hierarchy, meaning that it comes, you see this drop down, you see this plus minus here, and it has this hierarchical format here. And that's not necessarily what I want to do. You see, that was a number field, and Excel guessed that I wanted to sum that, which doesn't make any sense because that's an incident number, but we're going to count it. So I don't really like the look of this. What I'm looking for is, in summarizing this data, is something that you might see in an Access report or a report through another program. And I'm really surprised that Excel doesn't have a wizard or something more simplified that will allow you to summarize and build a report out of this data. There's only one way I know how to do this, and that's through the count ifs in this case, since I want to count the records. And these are the steps on how to do it. So as I mentioned, I wanted to do it by sector. I'm going to hold down Control and hit crime, select the crime column, and I want the offense description. I'm going to hit Control C to copy all of those. You see the marching ants there. I'm going to bring this over to a new worksheet. Actually, these are in the wrong order. So I want to select sector and crime. I'm going to cut them. I'm going to come over to A1 here, and I'm going to insert them and get them in the right order. So I want sector, I want crime, I want offense description. Okay, so this is everything. This is all 10,000 rows here. So this is the way I wanted my report to look. I want these three columns, and then I want a metric over here in column D that's going to be the count of these dimensions. Okay, so what I want to do first is I want a distinct list over here. So come over to data, and we're going to hit, mine's narrowed, but you might just have a remove duplicates. That's what we want. And then our header in this case is there, so we want those three columns. Yes. Okay, so we got 117 unique values. Great. So now what I want to do is use the count ifs function. Okay, so we're going to hit equals count ifs. Right there is what we want. So I'm going to hit Shift F3, and that brings up our function window. I think this is a little bit easier to work with the first time that you are using a function. Okay, so the first thing is like, what range do you want to count? And so we're going we're going to put in each one of these columns here as a criteria. So the first one we're going to do is sectors. So that range, where is these sectors and where we want to count? So we're going to come over here to crimes. We're going to find sector, select it. Then we're going to come over here to criteria, and we're going to select A2. So we're going to count all those records in crime tab sector that equal 3. And you can see here, Excel's already done it. There's 2,229. Now I want to put in another range. Next, I want to do crime. So now I'm going to come over here, do the same thing, select the crime column, come back over here for criteria and select B2, their theft. So now all sector 3 thefts, there's 773. And then finally, we want another criteria where we want offense description, and cut me off a little bit there. We're going to come back over here. So that's my range. That's what I want it to look into. And now I want grand theft. So the way this works is it's sector 3, theft, grand theft. There's 256 there. Hit OK. Okay. Now we're going to select the bottom right-hand corner, which, as you see, when I mouse over it, it changes the color of my cursor, and you double click there and it will copy and paste down the formulas here. Okay. So as you can see, this one's looking for sector 4, burglary offense, and there's 256 there. Okay. So this is my count column. So now we have the sector, we have the crime, we have the offense, and here's our counts over here, which is doable, and that's exactly what I want. But that, in my opinion, that's too many small steps to get where you need to go. And so that's really the challenge for Excel users out there. What's the quickest way to get to a summarized worksheet here? Is it the way that I just showed you? Or is there another way in Excel to get from granular level worksheet to a summarized worksheet? If you have questions or comments or suggestions, please leave them below. As always, if there are suggestions for small steps, please let us know as well. Please subscribe and like this video so you can get updates for future videos. My name is Jason Elder. Thank you for joining me for Small Steps.